roughly siya nagpapadala niyan. Si Oh My Venus naman sa Onyx PH.
And that is one of the matchups to look at. Backline, potentially, depending on how Oh My Venus feels like he is going to be playing this out. Kilowash, Raflesha, Greed, JP, Kel VJ, expect the king to be in the...
Ano yung tawag dun sa twins? Yung pero hindi sila magkamukha?
Fraternal
twins? Para silang ganun for me.
Yeah. Okay, maybe that's a telling sign because for 2 seasons in a row, we could say JP, godlike support, but now, godlike carry. Pero ngayon, we can say that maybe Wise can stand toe-to-toe to him.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
a telling sign.
Although, like what Midnight said also, sorry, I want to expound on this lang. For me kasi, I was comparing yung roles sa Mobile Legends with basketball. Like with the tank being the center and the support being the point guard.
Yeah.
Okay, pero for me, if I was gonna look at Raflesha, siya yung tank nila, di ba? Siya yung nasa tank position nila. Parang siyang Magic Johnson eh.
Yeah.
Do you know how Magic Johnson creates plays for his teammates, for the Lakers? Parang ganun si Raflesha.
Playmaking,
ito si Akashi no? Si Raflesha. Yung talagang ini-enable niya yung zone. Kaya aura yung true zone talaga eh.
Dilar, J, Oh My Venus, Wise, and Iyaknu. Dilar, expect that on the XP lane. Tank support for J. Utility support, the loved role of Oh My Venus. Wise in the mid lane or roaming around in the jungle and stuff. Iyaknu going there into the gold lane. Alam nyo na kung saan sila pupunta sa mapa, ano ang magiging roles nila. Potentially, we might see the 6th man come into action here. We might see Renjo come into action. We might potentially see Basic come into action. And that is gonna add a whole different level to our game. Tignan naman natin ano ang magiging kailangan gawin ng mga teams natin as we look into the keys of victory. Target Venus's hero pool, establish an early game lead, draft side lane pressure heroes. He mentioned something like this, Midnight. Shut down at least one side lane and give JP draft priority. Yan ang keys to victory ng Aura.
Yeah, very strong points. Props to sa nagsulat nito. Establish early game lead. Again, ito yung key conditions talaga against Onyx PH. If you want to win against Onyx, kasi if you drag the game out, Onyx PH will naturally outmaneuver you. It is just stats, no? Talagang yung Onyx PH mas maganda yung resource control nila of the entire map. So you need to do that. Ang pinaka-importante dito is, I believe, yung point 1 and point 5. Yung target Venus hero pool and give JP draft priority. Weakest games of Onyx PH are the ones na naiipit sila sa draft pagdating kay Venus. And ang pinakamalakas, yung strongest points naman ng Aura PH for the entire regular season was when JP was given the best possible funnel option for this team. Like for example, kapag first pick yung Roger and walang Natalia, or it's a perfect lane game. Pero even though may mga perfect lane games si JP, hindi ka ganun ka stellar yung performance niya. It's because of the fact na yung kalaban well prepared against the lane. Kasi nung regular season, actually kaya hindi na pinapansin masyado yung lane. Kasi well prepared na yung mga teams against that. Ngayon, kaya lang lumalabas yung lane ulit. Kasi iba na yung build-up killing eh.
Right.
And now, let's see. Ano ba ang magiging keys to victory here for Onyx PH? Secure tanks, win 2 side lanes, force JP on the marksman, execute early aggression, and surprise Aura PH.
I think, I'm sorry, gusto ko lang mag-touch up ulit dun sa keys to victory kanina ng Aura PH. Kasi, I think it's very out there na isa sa mga biggest weakness nga talaga ng Onyx is the Venus pool, hero pool. Like actually siya rin mismo, like Venus is very vocal about it also na hindi talaga malalim yung hero pool niya.
4 or 5 max.
So yun nga, for me, kailangan nila mag-secure talaga. Kailangan na ma-secure yung it's not here in the key. Yun pala yun, doon ba yun sa secure tanks? No. Di ba na Venus plays tanks sometimes?
Yeah, kapag naiipit sila. Kapag si Jay, yung nagsisilina.
Right.
Yun yung mga times na napapatang si Venus.
So for me, just to add to these keys to victory, feeling ko they have to secure Venus's heroes.
And there you have it. Alam na natin ang keys to victory. We know the stories leading up to it. Aura versus Onyx. Is it potentially the end of an Aura? Or maybe there is a bit of that factor na, isipin mo Onyx PH, 3 seasons in a row. Potentially, if matalo dito ang Onyx, it could be their last hurrah. Potentially. Not saying anything here, but it's that feeling of 3 seasons na tayo. Are we gonna still keep at it? It is a heartbreaking game. Potentially. Aura versus Onyx, what is usually our grand finals, it is the first match of the second day of the playoffs. I'm Reptar. Chin Valdez, Midnight, panel. We are done here. Let's bring it to our casters para sa draft.
Hi, our PH. Thanks for being fan-friendly. Hour of Fire.
Aura, fire.
Aura, fire.
Aura fire.
Aura, fire.
Aura, fire.
Aura, fire!
Aura Fire!
Hi guys, I'm Kayla Heredia, also known as K-Bear, and I am inviting all of you to come and support Onic PH.
Go Onic!
Go Onic.
Hashtag all for Onic.
Hashtag all for Onic.
Hashtag go Onic.
Welcome back to the Caster's Desk. Thank you so much to our panelists Des, and here we go. I'm your anchor for today here in the international stream. My name is Manjin Faldas. I am with my partner Wolfcast, and we are called The Connection for game number 1 of day number 2 of the playoffs. It is again the El Clasico. Wolf, I have one question. Are you ready for another long day?
I am not ready, but we will be ready.
Yes.
Don't worry, not ready right now, but I'm sure that eventually we will. No, just kidding.
Because you are never ready.
We are never ready.
Yes. Here we go.
Was it Spider-Man?
It was, I think it was Batman.
It was Batman. Alright.
Yeah. No, it was Alfred.
It was Alfred.
Yes. By the way, here we go. Going back to the topic, our panelist said this, that this is going to be a heartbreaking moment for the fans of MPL, because for the first time after 2 seasons, it's going to be an elimination game between Aura PH and Onic PH. One has to go.
Well, after this, somebody will go home. Although literally they're already at home, I think.
Yes,
because of the pandemic. But kidding aside, this is the end of the road for the losing team. We saw yesterday that it was definitely heartbreaking, but at the same time, the fact that it is a single elimination, it brought out the best in the teams that we saw yesterday. Like, who would have thought that Blacklist International will push it against Omega, right? And who would have thought Signal Ultra in their rookie season as players will really challenge Execration to that point. So this one, it has happened before. A best of 5 series already happened twice before. It all went in favor of Aura, but this time maybe Onic can take it. Maybe.
Maybe, because who would have thought that we're going to have this in the first round? And of course, given the history between these two teams, I think the last week of the MPL groups, that was the first time where Onic PH defeated Aura PH in a series.
That's
so this means that the momentum is in the hands of Onic right now.
Yeah, when that could be something that Onic can use as a confidence booster, but definitely not a reason for them to be overly complacent against their opponent. This is still Aura PH. You know what? I think I agree with some of the players or some of the fans when they were saying that Aura PH was kind of distracted, was a little bit, you know, there are a lot of other things that is going on in the mind of Aura PH before.
Yeah.
And then we had a 1 week preparation, a break. Yeah. This, actually more than a week. This will be great.
Yeah, man, this is going to be interesting because both of these teams, they prepare a lot for every fight that they do. That's why I think I've been hearing rumors of people saying, hey, I was gonna take it away too, because you know there's always this playoff Aura mode.
The playoff Aura.
But same goes with Onic PH, especially that's what we call the Onic Magic, right?
The Onic Magic, indeed. There's also another magical moment that I kind of want to bring up again, because this was said in the panel. They transform when they face up against each other. Ooh. Aura PH is totally different when they're facing up against Onic. They're so good. That is also true with Onic. When they're facing against Aura, it seems like they put 100% of their brain capacity.
I like your point about that, because again, these guys are the so-called rivals.
Destined rivals.
Destined rivals. And if you watch stories, if you watch anime, if you watch legendary stories about rivals, both of those guys, the opponents, they know each other so well. They know each other perfectly, to the point that they know the next movements. Man, this is going to be interesting. The draft is starting right now. We are seeing Aura PH in their camera, And look at this. Starting with the Uranus, the Barretts, and the Natalia ban. Meanwhile, for Onyx, what do we have here?
It's Selena and Esmeralda. You have to take note, these three heroes that are a PH ban, these are the heroes that Onyx PH got when they won against them. That's interesting.
Yeah, I like it. I like that your point, because the Selena is actually a high win rate hero if you give it in the hands of Greed.
Exactly.
Aura's ex-teammate. Sorry, Onyx ex-teammate. And then, yeah, because of that, I think Onyx PH, their plan here is that to respect every perfect hero, every strong hero for the side of Aura PH. Yeah.
So you take away all of the comfort picks, basically speaking. And you can see Onyx PH now, they gave away the Yuzong. This is one of their best picks. And if you think about it, the picks of Onyx PH have been banned out, particularly on the side lanes.
Yeah.
Most particularly for Dilar. They still have the Thams, and you still have the Kali. Now it's picked up. Khalid is a hero that wasn't really the priority yesterday. In fact, there were times that there's no pick nor ban on this hero.
The Khalid, but usually we see it on the 4th pick.
Exactly.
And people are using it more of a tank rather than a side lane. Just want to talk about the side lane matchup here. You've been talking about this. Erasing Glar's pool and erasing Iakno's pool. How will this affect Onyx PH?
Definitely big. Because most of them, teams just take away Venus heroes, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
They don't focus on Dilar, they don't focus on Iakno, and then they get defeated. Aura PH is totally different. They know the main anchor, the main cornerstone of what makes Onyx PH successful, and that is the Oh My Venus.
Yeah, the Queen.
The Queen.
And still no heroes yet for the Queen. But speaking of support, there you go. You now have it for the side of Aura PH. The Farsa. I could therefore say that the Farsa is the most successful hero yesterday in the MPL playoffs, especially with the last series of Omega versus Blacklist International. Now in the hands of Greed, plus the Roger and the Yuzong. The first 3 picks right now of Aura PH is looking perfect for their squad.
That is actually amazing that you pointed out. It just makes a lot of sense against Onyx PH. And also, I like what you said about the success rate of these heroes. Farsa is really one of the key heroes yesterday. It lost in the last game of yesterday's matches, or earlier of today's matches, by the way. But kidding aside, this is a hero that that is, how do I say this? It's plug and play. You can put it in any kind of lineup.
Yeah, and
it will make sense.
It's also an Onyx specialty, I think.
Wow.
But is that true though?
0% win rate on Greed's Farsa. It's interesting.
I think you need to double check that, Wolf.
That is actually true too.
Oh my.
Only picked twice in the group stages and lost both of those times.
Okay, that's quite big.
That is massive, because it kind of that probably is why Onyx PH banned out Valir and Selena, and then they gave away the Farsa on the first. I mean, they could have picked that up, but they gave it to Aura PH, and
because they know the stats.
They know the stats.
They did the research. Wow, this is interesting coming in from Onyx PH. I also like the Yishun Chin pick, the immediate Yishun Chin pick, so that right now, for the last few phases of the picks and bans, we're now focusing on the tanks here, Wolf. So what are the priority picks and bans?
Obviously, for Aura PH, you want to look at Kufra. It's already banned out. You want to look at Atlas. They're picked up by Aura PH as well. Although Atlas is not a hero that you kind of see more often. Hilda is surprisingly not yet picked up by Aura PH. I think it could be banned out now by Onyx, seen as one of the standard Reflection heroes.
The Hilda.
Hilda was picked.
Especially right now in the Project Next meta, we have these, what do you call it? Jungle invaders?
The jungle invaders.
The jungle invaders, the Natalia, the Hilda, and of course Onyx PH securing their own jungle invader, which is the Jawhead. So yeah, I think that the Hilda is open here for the side of Aura, but who knows? They could probably pick up a Popol in Copa as well.
1-1 is going to be banned out by Onyx PH. They don't want to see that hero for sure.
Okay?
Okay.
One of the new trends right now, especially
The double
having
core.
the late game capability of the Project Next patch, where every game could probably go to the 18-minute mark.
Yeah. Makes me wonder if we are going to see more of these late game games, basically. And we're gonna have
I hope
elongated
so.
games, extended games.
Yeah, I hope so, man.
Do you
'cause-
really hope so?
Yeah, because you want to watch action-packed games.
No, kidding aside, this matchup, you know that we've been waiting for this.
Oh.
We want to see a 5-game series.
Against
I
both of
won't
these guys.
mind casting this all throughout.
Yeah, it's gonna be explosive, man. Onyx versus Aura PH. This is the third chapter of their matchup.
Yep.
And again, guys, the story right here is that Onyx PH could actually prevent this from happening in the group stages, but they chose to win. They chose to match up with Aura PH to end the story right here, right now.
That is actually an interesting thought, an interesting insight, because it is true. If if Onyx PH just gave away just literally 1 point to Aura PH, this would not have happened.
Yeah.
But Onyx PH, they know that this is a possibility. They know that if they defeated Aura in the group stages, this matchup will happen.
Yeah.
So probably they are prepared for this.
So get rid of your biggest problem right away. There you go.
Double.
The 2-core setup.
Yep.
For Aura PH. Wolf, you're kind of like tilting your head here. What's happening here? This is the first time that I've seen this from Aura PH after a long time.
Here's the thing, right? I know and I trust Ling for Aura PH. And I also trust them doing the double core setup. They can do that. But with Roger and Ling, that's where the question marks happen, because we've seen this before. If you start the Roger on the side lanes, it struggles heavily. That is also what happened with Onyx PH when they tried for this side lane Roger. It was bullied out against the 1-1, for example. But I guess Aura PH knows already their lane matchups. They know that the Khalid and Alice will be their matchup, so they were confident about this. So there it is, the Eudora. This is great against all of these heroes that rely heavily on that are quite squishy.
Yeah.
You see, it could be easily be dealt with this Eudora.
You know, man, I like it because it's perfect for the queen.
Yes, you're right.
Oh my Venus, for the first time,
You're
gonna
right.
choose
You're actually right.
the Eudora in the game. We've seen this from Bren Esports used by Few, and it was so successful. We also seen it in other regions as well because of the burst damage, the electric conductor passive,
Exactly.
just a massive damage output for your
100%,
team, right?
100%.
100%, especially if you have good AOEs. So, wow, in terms of early game here, I'm leaning towards Onyx PH, man, in terms of draft, but looking at the lineup, 2-core setup, that's the trend right now. It seems like it's going to be Aura PH in game 1.
We'll know. Eudora is also one thing that's also trending right now, by the way. Well, here's the thing. What we want to see here is that we will prove what is better or what is the more comfortable for both teams. Are you, if you're Aura PH, are you actually really comfortable with this kind of composition, the double core setup?
Yeah.
And maybe yes, because KelVJ is known to be a core and JP is massive in the mid lane. But there was a time in Aura PH, there was a timeline where KelVJ was the mid laner and JP was the side laner.
Side laner,
right?
But who knows?
Who knows right now?
Maybe this is going to be a mid laner Roger.
And
We're
the
still not
Ling
sure.
side lane.
Side lane.
Ling side lane?
We shall see. We shall see.
We shall see, Lee.
So here we go, game number 1, boys and girls. Hold on to your horses, because it is going to be again another classic Aura PH versus Onyx PH. So yeah, JP is going to be the one in the mid lane with the Retribution, and KLBJ in the gold lane. It's actually refreshing to see KLBJ with the scary heroes right now.
That's right, that's right. But that is already also a sight to see. Look at Jay. Using the ejector, not on the buff, but onto JP. That might be even enough. But he will not be able to reset this. The fact that they're delaying this buff for a lot of seconds now, that's already so good. And oh my Venus is just hovering around. They gave time
Yeah.
for Wise. The Y assist to win.
I like it. That is, of course, again, the Project Next meta. The importance of the buffs.
Yeah.
The importance of the jungle for the jungler heroes, because you only have one retribution in your arsenal. And again, you have this Jawhead who is just so irritating if you're up against with, especially with the Ejector. Jay is at level 1, but yeah, his job is now done because look at Wise. He is now at level 4.
Yeah, and if you are seeing his matchup, it's JP on the lanes, just level 3 at this moment. Cannot even show himself in the lane so easily because he can be zapped by Oh My Venus. Look at how confident Oh My Venus is.
Yeah.
It's actually punishing JP now. Refresh is far too late with the roll.
And you know what? The more units you have in the map, the better for the Eudora, the better for the Electric Conductor to proc. And there you go, Ejector coming in, KLBJ in trouble here, comes in with a pounce, and that is the first blood for Dlar with the Desert Tornado.
Wonderful play coming out from Onyx PH. If we want to see more wonderful stuff, from October 27th to November 13th, log in the game and participate in the Trickster's Village event and get Halloween candies for a treasure spin. If you get 10 spins, it's a guaranteed turn is the special skin, the Hammer Giant.
Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween! And also, if you send 10-26 log in MOBB, win a skin, your account and your server ID in the comment section, you'll get a chance to win a Granger Lightborn skin.
Ooh, that's great.
That's great.
That's great. Speaking of great, Wise is doing great here against JP, who is actually at level 4, and KLBJ is also level 4 here, man. It seems like the early game is going towards the side of Onyx PH.
I want to tell you a little bit of a story, a backstory to this. If you recall, Onyx PH is one of those teams that first tried this double core setup before the Project Next.
Ooh,
and then during the Project Next, they tried it again. It did not work because the main win condition is to not get bullied in the jungle, not get invaded.
Speaking of bullying, Aura PH bullying Jay, but here comes Raging Sandstorm counter go from Dlar, comes in with another Desert Tornado, plus the Execute, getting 2 heroes. Dlar and the Dlar army is now screaming because Onyx PH will also get the turtle.
I want to say, Dlar probably did not expect to kill Kiluwash in there. Because Kiluwash was just recalling. We can see the in the Gillette instant replay. Kiluwash knows that he needs to get out, but Dlar was there. Kiluwash thought, he actually got hit by the Execute because he was nearer, but he wasn't the Execute target anyways.
Yeah, Dlar just pressed that button, and then boom. Hey, I got a double kill, wow. I did that. And now Aura PH, look at this, man. They're behind by 1,000, and Onyx PH, they actually cleared out some of the energy shields in the top and probably in the bot.
Yeah. Nevertheless, I think they're still confident with this Ling. And you also have another core to kind of put your hands on. Then again,
so it's fine. They're still fine. It's not yet over yet.
Jay, the sneaky moves. Stealing that orange buff is actually massive at this point.
Yeah.
You're not depending on the damage output that you get, the extra damage that you get out of the orange buff, but you want to get that gold and EXP as the Ling. And unfortunately, that is something that was taken away from Aura PH.
Crucial steal there.
Exactly.
From Jay. One of the sneakiest players to ever play the game, but Venus trying to survive that gank from JP. So,
oh
no, it's a trap. JP coming out, I mean, with the Templates of Blades, as Iaknu will just cancel the toggle of the blood odds. But Jay is just doing wonders for Onyx PH right now, man.
They're just trying to stop this JP Ling to actually farm. If you're looking at KLBJ, this is an interesting spell to have. It's Execute instead of something like Flicker or something else. Because he knows that he needs to eliminate his opponents, but unfortunately, it's not working at this point.
He can't. Because you have a Jawhead and you have an Alice as your opponent. So you can't really burst someone unless it's a Eudora or probably a Yishan Shin. But as I say this, Reflesh and company, they're falling low. Here comes the Black Dragon from our PH. Kilua just spinning and going around town. But can he survive this? Dragon Tail knock up? No. Wise will secure another takedown. Onyx PH, they're dominating the first 5 minutes.
So definitely dominating the first 5 minutes. They also took away the purple buff while at it, while also taking the turret. So apart from kills that they got in that middle part, they got a turret, they got a buff, they get a lot of farm right now. It's all of a sudden 5,000 gold lead for Onyx PH and Aura. They are suffering the problems of having a double core setup. The greediness of this kind of lineup is something that can easily be punished.
I agree with you, man. Look at this. In terms of items, Onyx PH now locking their BODs, their Clock of Destinies, and look at this, Aura PH only having the Windtalker, and that's actually an item that is quite cheap right now. But yes, it will give you damage, but unlike a BOD, which is massive, dude, Onyx PH just gangstering their way. Here is...
Speaking of gangster, Iaknu.
There you go, Iaknu. Blood on. The damage output, where is it? Jay is here. Reflesha with the counter go. Flowing blood out for Iaknu. Onyx PH is not giving any space for the side of Aura.
Man, you can say that in all of the Alice players that we have seen in the group stages, Benecutie was on top, but Iaknu is definitely a contender on whether you debate, is Benecutie better when it comes to controlling the Alice, or is it actually Iaknu? But I think Iaknu, in their victories, that was against an important opponent. I think it was NXP.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was against.
I think against NXP or probably Omega.
Yeah.
Or Blacklist.
That's right, and he was wonderful with that Alice.
He was. But yeah, Iaknu is saying, hey, Manjin and Wolf, I'm also a pretty good Alice player. I can definitely go in. Do the aggressive plays.
I think pretty good is an understatement. Iaknu knows the ins and outs of this hero.
He masters it. But now, Oh My Venus, the main target. That is a nice Raging Sandstorm to save the Eudora, but it was too late. 24 seconds to the death timer. Flowing blood coming in. Iaknu, he is, of course, late in the team fight. But Reflesha is already dead. 1-to-1 exchange. But still, Onyx PH getting the purple buff and not giving this orange buff to Aura right now.
Yeah, they're just trying to make it really hard for Aura PH to get the fart. The 4 kills for Aura PH, but that was on supports. Literally just the supports. And Onyx PH really don't mind dying on Oh My Venus. No matter what happens, Eudora is real impactful even in the late game.
There you go, nice stun coming in from Iaknu, but Jay comes in with the ultimate. He will eject JP and he will punch him to the face. Jay, ladies and gentlemen, getting a crucial kill once again. Now inside the base. KLBJ with a revenge kill, but that was definitely a victory for Onyx PH.
That still is a 2-1. I feel that it's a victory in a sense, but you have to take note, that's not the best case for you if you're Onyx PH. Yeah, sure, you killed JP, but you also gave Iaknu and Jay.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I did not actually see Iaknu falling down though. Yeah.
If they convert this to stealing the buffs or, you know, preventing the link to farm, I think that's also doable. Like right now, Oh My Venus actually went in to get that purple buff. So the other purple buff now belongs to Onyx PH. That means that they took away an important buff for the Ling.
Yeah, and that's dangerous in the hands of the Eudora. Oh My Venus. Man, this is actually JP still sleeping. Now only having the endless battle. 9 minutes in this battle, man. What a delay coming in from our PH. But there you goes, another team fight. Reflesha falling low. Black Dragon form. Killing spree coming in from Wise. But Lar solo killing one from behind. And KLBJ and Kaluash, everyone is running for their lives. Jay popping the ejector, popping the smart missiles. Run away, KLBJ. The king, run for your life. Oh no.
They cornered him.
He can't jump.
God.
He can't jump.
Triangle offense from Onyx PH. Triangle defense, I mean.
The triangle defense paid off. Onyx PH.
The triangle formation.
Getting every kill from every sector of the map in the top lane. And with that, converting it to the Lord Take.
Historically, Onyx PH, they have not won. They haven't won against this Ling of Aura PH.
Yeah.
Ling of Aura PH, it was the stuff of the champions in MPL Season 5. It prevented Onyx PH from defeating them once again. It was a threat, constant threat, but now they know already how to stop this.
Yeah.
They know how to stop either JP or KLVJ's Ling.
And I think the panel said that as well earlier, that people are actually giving the Ling to JP because they already have seen the blueprint. They know how to counter it. They know every specific role of the team to answer it. And with this, man, this is a shutdown for this monstrous Ling that we know of JP.
And we can see for Onyx PH, they are going to be more conservative now. Kind of take this game away.
Yep. There you go. Speaking of taking the game away, Onyx PH will try it. Winter Truncheon from Iyaknu to prevent him from dying. Kiluash is also here, but Iyaknu with the flowing blood in. Mega kill from Dlar once again because of Desert Tornado. Weiss, does he have the Traceless though? Yes, he has. But 3 heroes are already down for the side of Aura. Weiss with another Traceless. This is it. List it down. Onyx PH gets game number 1.
A very dominant fashion indeed. They know exactly what is the weakness of this kind of composition, right? We're talking about this. Onyx PH already failed with this before. The dual core setup wherein they had a jungler and a Roger in the side lanes. They know that if you just conquer the side lanes or the buffs, you can really punish this kind of greedy lineup. And that's exactly what they did. This Jawhead was a big problem for them. Eudora was a problem for them.
Yeah.
And Weiss was just farming all throughout.
And man, Weiss is farming, but JP and KLBJ, they were like struggling. They were hungry for some buffs.
Yes.
Right? Because KLBJ was like, hey, where's my orange? And JP was like, hey, don't take my blue. Don't take my purple.
They were famished, to say the least. And that's a scary Onyx PH. But then again, man, I have to tell you, all of the series that Onyx PH and Aura PH battled with, I think it was always a game 1 victory for Onyx PH.
Oh, yeah.
The grand finals, right?
Every time.
So,
every freaking time. So it seems like Aura PH is downloading this.
That's scary.
We shall see.
We
shall see, man. You know what? To be honest, I'm really expecting game number 5. So this is just the beginning. This is just an appetizer. Let us throw it away to our solo analyst for that game. Rockhart, what do you think?
On a best of 5 between Aura PH and Onyx PH. And of course, with my Realme phone, let's go into the item builds here for Onyx PH. I think you will notice that sobrang surplus na kadalasan ng mga gamit, especially with Weiss here. 407, napakadaling sa kanya. Napakadali para sa kanya na mag-farm. And so, tama yung sabi ng kasalan, sobrang ingat ni Weiss dito, knowing na traceless lang yung kaya niyang gamitin escape. It is a retribution. A retribution na Yisan Shin. And oh my Venus, 1, 4, and 5, that doesn't even matter. It really did a big help para sa side ng Onyx PH. And I have to say na, I think it really was a very good matchup. Maganda yung draft ng parehong teams natin. Yung something na hindi ko syempre nabanggit mula kanina. Pero talagang masabi mo na there's really something there, no? Una sa lahat, kailangan natin tignan na pareho yung draft ng teams natin medyo malayo from the normal draft na ginagawa natin from the regular season. Double marksman, double carry build para sa Aura PH at sa kabila naman, na-adapt na din ng Onyx PH ang galawan mula sa ibang rehiyon with, of course, that beautiful na Bolta. Bolta. Tuwa si Manjin. Narinig ko siya, tumatawa kanina habang pinipik yun. At tignan yung post-match data naman, JP, halatang-halata na kahit 3-3-3, very safe yung KDA niya, is hirap din siya na gumalaw dito sa mapa natin. Very good effort mula sa ating mga laners from Aura PH Kiluash as well. Hindi siya trying to control everything. As in, sila grid, todo bigay. Todo bigay, and hindi sila, they're trying their very, very best para makontrol yung mapa. Pero ang hirap talaga, lalo na si KLVJ, it really took some time for him to go online. And yung ikot ni JP around the map is very much hunted down as well by Onyx PH. Kita nyo nung dulo, sila, oh my Venus, pumapasok na sa jungle para hanapin, nasa na ba yung mga nag-farm na to? Nasa na ba? Sino ba kailangan nating habulin. At alam nila yon. Alam nila na si JP, 4-man yun. Basically 4v5 for the first few minutes of the game. And aware sila because of that condition, because of the draft na din. Kung pag binato nyo, yung Roger dun sa lane na yon, matagal talaga siya dun. Bago siya mag-online. At wala siyang choice kung hindi mag-buckle up. Everyone, the rest of the team really did their very best. But again, it was just a little too much for Aura PH here on this game 1. And now, we can actually see here with the purple buffs claim, talagang tinodo din ng Onyx PH. Yung buffs, yung orange buffs, it was just all for the side of Onyx PH. Aware din sila na pag binigyan mo naman ng purple buff sila JP, mahihirapan sila, mas makakatakas siya, mas makaikot. At syempre naman, wag mong bibigay din yung orange buff kay LVJ dito sa Roger na to. Let's go to the highlights here for this matchup. There was a lot of action early on compared to yesterday where medyo chess dito, bakbakan to the max right away. As you can see, Dilar, action kung action. Meron kayong Volta, gamitin nyo yan ng mabuti. And talaga namang hirap ding ipalag ng Aura PH doon sa game na yon. As you can see, invades for days, di ba? Wala, pati yung mga buffs ng Aura PH talagang yun na yung binahayan ng Onyx. Kaya naman talaga, aside from wala kang buff, wala ding gold, kulang ding gold, it really slowed down the pace for the game. And because of that, again, Onyx PH really did come ahead. Ito si Jay. Para daw siyang isda na tinanggal mo na yung ulo. Ayan, mga palag-palag. Inis na ibigay. Pero nakapag-delay din yun na kay KLVJ ng ilang segundo. May ginawa din naman yun. And of course, on this Lord take, after this Lord take was taken, it was very difficult. Lalo na't kulang na yung miyembro ng Aura PH dito sa base with just greed, trying to control 3 lanes almost at the same time. There's no way that they were gonna defend that. Kaya ngayon, ang magiging MVP nandito si Jay. Again, worthy sacrifice sa ating tol. Si Jay here on that jawhead. Very much maganda pang invade. That's the reason why they were able to do these very aggressive invades in the first place. Talagang kayang pumasok. And that's why jawhead sobrang taas ng priority dito sa ating MPL Season 6 ever since the Project Next batch. So, I would say that this is a warm-up. We've seen this before. Onyx versus Aura, ilang season na naganap, mga kaibigan. Ilang season na silang dalawa talaga pang Game 5. Hanggang finals, Game 5, dulong-dulo, di ba? And I'm expecting something like that right now as well. So, support nyo nga palang Onyx PH. Scan that QR code on the bottom of your screen. Sayang naman You gotta give them a lot of love as well as Aura PH, who really need the support to push through after that very much Game 1 loss, no? Scan the QR codes and of course visit our site here, fb.com/mplph.official. Scan the QR codes. QR codes talaga no? Ang bilis ang bilis umikot sa mga sites ngayon pag naka-QR code scanning ka lang. Tapos pwede ka pang kumuha ng rewards. Pag nag-fill ka ng survey na yan, tulungan tayo mga kaibigan. Fill up the survey, get a chance to win rewards when you scan the QR code on bottom of your screens. And meron tayong mga survey. MPL survey. Ganun na, MPL survey 2. O diba? Yung mga bit.ly codes na yan, bit.ly link yan actually. So, go to those links and you'll get a very nice surprise. Speaking of surprise, favorite. Yung ginagawa naman yun, hindi ko kaya yun Parang, yan, QR giveaway codes. I-claim nyo na agad. Kasi, sayang naman Maka-claim ko yan. Nag-reamy phone ako dito. And MRD bonus code on your screens as well. Palapit ako ng palapit. Layo tayo konti. Ayan. There you go. Claim those QR codes, claim those codes in-game para naman may konting tulong tayo sa ating mga journey sa Land of Dawn. And pabilisan na lang yan, guys. Feeling ko talaga screenshot Screenshot talaga is the way. Just copy. Diba? You guys know what to do. And of course, those are the codes for today. Game 1 pa lang. Nagmamadali na. Compared to yesterday, it was a little bit different. Yesterday, pang matagalan, diba? Pang Motolite. All the way to 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I don't care. I want to see some of that today as well. Let's go and see if we can get into Game 2 right away. Go ahead, Butters and Rob Luna.
Shoutouts to Rockhart on that wonderful analysis. And, man, game number 2 is already ahead. That was quick. For game number 1, what do you
Definitely,
think?
I think that it's less than the average. The fastest games that we had probably was game 1 of Blacklist International versus Omega, wherein it was the most methodical, most tactical approach. And I think that specifically for this matchup, this is something that I did not expect at all. That Onyx PH will really dominate game 1. But then again, we talked about this. This has happened before.
Yeah.
Aura PH losing game 1 against Sonic PH. It has happened before. It might be a different turnout in this series.
But actually, for me, man, I think that was different because it seems like Onyx really did pummeled Aura PH with that greedy draft that you said.
Yep.
So I think, is this the time for Aura PH to change that and go to plan B? Probably just go for a single hyper carry strategy and don't force that greedy strat.
Yeah, 100%. I think that you can go greedy, but not like in a Ling plus Roger combo. If it was something like Hellcurt plus a marksman, or a Ling plus a marksman, like Claude would have been better instead of the Roger in the previous game. If you're talking about greed, why don't go all in? And we're not talking about the hero or the player. I mean, greed. We're talking about being so much farm heavy when it comes to your composition.
I like your point because there's a difference between these carry heroes who really needs the jungle.
Yeah.
With these heroes, like for example Claude 1-1 who can just stay in lane and wait for the perfect opportunity to strike. What you just need to do is to farm all throughout the game. Like just farm. And of course the Roger is pseudo marksman, pseudo assassin, same as the Ling. So yeah, I get your point. Probably Aura PH can go for this marksman heroes.
Yeah, because we know that they have done that before. I mean, MPL Season 4 was off of a marksman from either JP or KelVJ, and the other one will play a mage or some hyper-aggressive player in the mid lane. That is also true with Onyx PH. Now, you have to take note. I think for Aura PH, they are overthinking this. I've seen comments, and this is some of those rare moments when I agree with some of the comments that I see online. Like, it was a simple fact that Aura PH, whatever they picked as a composition, they're not the most effective ones in the meta. Because if you look at Onyx PH, they have used Eudora, for example, and that's a hero that was probably used in MPL Indonesia, and it was prominent because of many things, and we can see why.
I get it, man, because there's some heroes right now who is really just going to the S tier.
Exactly.
Right? Like,
but no, I hate to cut you, but Aura PH, they went in for the A tier heroes, while Onyx PH went in for the S tier heroes.
S tier, and then go in for 3 A tiers. But Onyx, it seems like, hey, we can pull off A tier heroes, man, because we're Aura PH, we're 3-time champions, and we know what we're doing. But then again, given the fact, the science of the game, the meta right now, if you have these S tier heroes, they will definitely win the trade-off.
That's right.
Every time you fight. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we're now going to game number 2. Here is the draft. Again, on PH, priority banning the Valier. Probably they will choose the Selena next, not giving it to Green.
Look at this. So I think this is important for the viewers to take note. Our players, they have a choice. They always have a choice whether to if you are in a best of 3 series, for example, or in a best of 5, there's a coin toss that's happening, and whoever won the coin toss will pick first in game number 1, and they always choose sides. Now for game number 2, with the team that got the blue side will not necessarily automatically be on the red side on the next game. It's their choice. Now it makes me think that Onyx PH might really want to be on the red side.
Yeah, they really want to get the 2 picks.
The 2 picks,
like,
exactly. And the last pick.
It seems like, hey, if they're going to be meta heroes that is open, you guys will get 1, but we will get 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time. Every time they're picking their poison, man. This is interesting.
Next level stuff.
Yeah.
And I think I'll have to ask. I will ask. What are the choices? What are the choices for the teams?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, Aura PH respecting the Khalid. So are we seeing another Yuzong opening for Aura PH, or are they gonna change it up?
Natalia is open for Aura PH, and that's a hero that Greed would want to get his hands on.
But
Yuzong instead.
Okay, they still love it.
Still love it.
Want to give it to Kiluwash every time.
Unfortunately, man, I'm gonna look at the stats. Kiluwash only played the Yuzong once. The other one was on Renzio. That's also just one pick. And then KLVJ picked it twice and lost once.
Ooh.
So in total, Aura PH have only picked this 4 times, and then last time was the 5th, and it was just it was 2 out of 5 when it comes to win rate, and
there you go,
that's bad.
48%.
Yep, it's not that good.
As you are currently saying. So, yeah.
This is only the 3rd time that if ever Kiluwash will pick this up, this will only be the 3rd time for them to see that. So you can see the priority now for Onyx PH.
Yeah.
It's Yi Sin Shin over anything else. Roger is available, Ling is available, but instead Onyx PH, Yi Sin Shin.
They definitely want to give Wise that vision control every time. Onyx, I think that Yi Sin Shin right now, if you're up against Onyx, you need to ban it early. Like, ban it in the first 3. And make them uncomfortable to pick like other carries. Because Wise has this huge mastery of this hero.
Yep.
He has a tutorial video, by the way, which I actually watched, and because of that, I learned the passive of the Yi Sin Shin.
Yeah.
And that's how he masters it. He knows the limits of the hero. But I'm actually curious here. So now is Lar always the side lane priority of Onyx? Because earlier we've seen the Khalid, and now we're seeing the Tams.
That might be the reason. But I also want to say that in this particular matchup, it's Aura versus Onyx. You want to get the best side laners as much as possible. Looking at this though, I love how Aura PH reacted. First, they snatched the Jawhead away from Onyx PH. Right? And also, they got the Natalia. A greed hero, works wonders against junglers, but maybe not as much against Yi Sin Shin, because Yi Sin Shin can just take the jungle easily, even up against the Natalia.
Yeah.
Although, very nice answer here for Onyx PH. Don't let the stats fool you. This might be just a 47.7% win rate, but in the past few games of Onyx PH, they have not lost against when they are using the Baksha, and that's also true when they used it against Aura PH.
I quite agree with you. I think that the Natalia is somehow of an answer to the Yi Sin Shin in combination with the Jawhead, but I think the Baksha is a great 3rd pick. Why? Because you can match up with the move, with the speed, the rotations of the Natalia and the Jawhead. Plus, you can easily scout the Natalia every time you have this ultimate pathway.
Exactly.
And then you have the Mountain Shocker as well as in your arsenal, the Yi Sin Shin. So I can therefore say that this Natalia, whoever gonna use it, is going to have a hard time if you're Aura PH.
What I love about this is that Onyx PH also, they know what they really prepared against Aura PH. Here's the thing: if you pick up Baksha or Thams, we saw in MPL Indonesia, and even in the past few weeks, that the main weaknesses of this hero is that particular hero, the 1-1. It's really a big problem. And even in the side lanes, there's not much pressure that you can put onto. So you're looking at Onyx PH. Now they banned out both. They are forcing Aura PH to pick either Roger or Ling. And they feel that they are winning in that kind of matchup.
Or maybe Carry?
Carry could be good though. That's a nice one.
Carry is your best answer for the Baksha.
That's actually right.
Yeah, but I think Onyx PH, they're prepared for the Carry pick. So are they baiting the Roger the Carry? Because they don't want to deal with the Claude and the 1-1 because both of those heroes can actually get out easily.
Yeah.
Right? Unlike a Carry, well, you have the Phantom Step, but the Claude is slippier.
Yeah.
And the 1-1 has this dodge mechanic. So, yeah, I think that Onyx PH really did prepare for this game, like picking the Yi Sin Shin and respecting band all of the marksmen.
So I got an inside information, Manjita, to all of the viewers out there. Aura PH, they won the coin toss.
Oh.
No, coin toss.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
the coin toss. They won the coin toss. There's the nice Farsa pick for Onyx PH, by the way. I want to say that Aura PH opted to go for blue side on game number 1.
Yep.
And then Onyx PH, since they have the ability to choose in game number 2, they are the ones to, decide for the draft. They went in to get the red side once again. So that means that they are really prepared for this. They want to be the second pick, no matter what happens.
Yeah.
Maybe because they can react more, right?
Yeah, and they have space.
And
They have space to.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, to pick. Because, look at this. You're the last pick.
Exactly.
So, Aura PH will pick
Gushon.
2. Oh, they're gonna pick 2. And then, Oni PH. Okay, so what is our counter? So, is this the comeback of KLVJ?
The KLVJ Gushon that we saw, right? It's so many buttons. Even the sticker and the recall is included in the combo.
Oh man,
But
but I think it's not good with the back shot, dude.
Not really. I
Not
think
really.
you just go something like Ruby here for Onyx PH.
And they're fine. There you go.
And
I think the Gushon is a 50-50 pick.
yeah, it's
I would prefer the carry here.
This is bad.
A carry or a Lancelot, maybe.
Well, you know what? If they do pop off, I would say I can see Aura PH if they are confident with this. Maybe they can. Maybe they can. I mean, looking at their composition, it's really bad when it comes to like a 5v5 matchup. In lane, it's really iffy, and you would honestly give it to Onyx PH because Ruby can trump the Gushon in the lane.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Gushon can outplay, but 90% of the time, if you're just doing everything correctly, and Iakno is gonna do everything correctly, right? So that's a problem.
Here's the sitch. If the if the Ruby survives the Gushon combo, the Gushon is done for. Man.
Yeah.
Like the Ruby can just lifesteal his way.
And it's not like the Gushon when he jumps, he's not immune to crowd control whatsoever, and there's a ton of control for the Ruby. So Ruby's like, okay, come on, hit me. He's like Joker saying, hit me.
Hit me now. Hit me now. Is that your best shot? Oh my. Actually, it's going to be JP who is playing the Gushon. I quite miss the king on...
okay, so
on
is this a
Gushon.
mid lane Gushon? Because if that's the
Maybe.
case, maybe that's better than the side lane
Rather
Gushon
than
against
the
the
side-
Ruby.
Yeah. So it's up against the Yishun Chin. And the Gushon is great against marksman heroes. He can easily catch the Yishun Chin. Wise need to be careful in using the traceless here because like JP can bait it out and then go for the dagger. Oh my glove!
It's scary though. It's scary. I still trust Aura PH. But they kind of put themselves in a spot wherein they are required to play the best Mobile Legends
Of their lives. Yeah, they have a lot of checkpoints here for
Exactly.
Aura. And looking at their battle spells, 3-man execute. They want to go for team fights early, man. Look at this.
Yes.
Ejector in. Will they kill this? But
No.
the revitalize is gonna be enough for Jay to survive that one.
That is exactly why they opted to go for a triple execute lineup, because they know that Baksha is sustain type. Iakno on the Ruby sustain type as well. And the times what Dilar!
Oh no!
No JP!
Oh no!
Oh my god!
Oh no!
That is bad news.
Yes. Worst thing that could happen
Remember back then?
to JP.
And you know what? It kind of gives me a little bit of some how do I say this? Some backstory in this Gushon, because if you recall, Onyx PH, they have Coach Rio. Rio is the Gushon god of the Philippines,
Yeah.
the championship Gushon, right? He knows the matchups. He knows what can pressure this guy.
That's definitely, it's now a bad day, man, for
Yeah.
JP. That is the first buff of the Gushon. You will, especially if you're gonna have this boots right now, you definitely want to spam your sword spikes, your Shadow Blade slaughters, and with this, the damage will now be delayed for Aura PH. This is the perfect opportunity for Onyx PH to go aggressive, even though Aura has the executes.
And that is really scary for him, being the recipient of the first blood. And you know what other scary stuff?
Yeah,
Maybe?
what?
From October 27th to November 13th, log in the game and participate in the Tricksters Village event and get Halloween candies for a treasure spin. Each spin will cost 4 Halloween candies, and you can get up to 7 each day for completing the task.
Wow.
If you get 10 spins, that's a guaranteed Terizla Hammer Giant skin.
What a sweet treat
Exactly.
for all of you guys. As Jay is now falling low. Do they have the execute though? They're not gonna pop it. I think it's on cooldown right now as Onyx PH will again survive another potential bet. And Wise is just farming. Look at him. He is now at level 5. Meanwhile, for JP, only level 4.
And now they know, because of the Mountain Shocker usage, they know that JP is taking this buff, although they cannot stop it. Looking at JP, he doesn't have the mana for this because he doesn't have the purple buff. And that's a problem. That's always have been a problem for the Gusion.
It is like the
worst.
The Ling of Season 3.
That is right. That is right. If you take away the purple buff,
and then
you're
fine.
done.
Yeah,
but then again, back in MPO Season 3, you have 2 purple buffs.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
And you
Make
can
that
steal
the
that
Ling
away.
of Season 4 maybe. But meanwhile, gone about talking Season 4 because they're going to have team fight here in the mid as Lar will finish off Greed, and of course Kilowash is the only one left behind as Onyx PH will pummel 2 heroes, stomping them to the ground. Onyx will is now getting the turtle.
I was gonna say earlier that the goal isn't that massive when it comes to the economy, but the fact is, it's not equally spread for Aura PH. For Onyx PH, they went in and took advantage of their little lead, of the little economic lead that they had, take it against Aura PH, and then take the turtle. Now they're leading by a lot.
And there you go. That's the first strike for Aura PH. That's what they want. The ejector combo, the stun, the Gusion damage, and now Greed is requesting for a pause. So here we go. A counter kill for Aura PH.
You're gonna have...
What can they make out of this?
Well, definitely they can secure their buffs. That's one thing, secure their farm. Although they have already secured their own buffs. Maybe they can look for other places to get the farm. And the fact is, Farsa being dead means that you can push at least a lane. Because that is Feathered Airstrike that's not available. Maybe they're not feeling that confident because Iaknu and Dilar can just collapse in the mid lane and just destroy their plans. But maybe in this game, they can at least. However, the problem I have with this Gusion is that it is paired up with a Roger. At this point, their power spikes do not match in a way that they cannot take advantage of kills because they cannot push. Can you imagine a Roger, under-farmed Roger, and an under-farmed Gusion pushing her lanes? Definitely not.
Yeah, you can't really get the towers there early. Maybe a Roger can, but a Gusion can't.
Exactly.
That's the problem with the Gusion. If you get delayed by just like a minute, or if you get killed, man, especially if you're up against pros, man, they will know that you don't have any damage.
Yes.
And they will just fight you head on. They will just gangster you.
Yeah. And if you have played enough, you'll know. And also, by the way, you can press that button in the on the top of your screen and look at the attributes, right?
Yeah.
That's also one indication for you to know if they have enough damage or enough. But I think pro players rely more on the feels.
Yeah. And this is the problem because Gusion builds, sometimes you build a sustain type of magic damage, or sometimes you build burst. And you always prefer burst so that you can get online early, right?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
Little bit of a misplay from Wise.
Okay, so Reflection with the steal there as Greed will pay off. Will pay for his life, I mean, just to get the purple. And Jay is fighting too. There you go, Reflection.
So tanky.
Yep, JP, there you go. No damage whatsoever, even though he has the orange buff. Yaknu, oh my Venus, is chasing him. The mountain
no,
Dilar! Oh my
Mr. Flawless.
Mr. Flawless with the flawless flank from behind. JP, another death.
Oh, look at the Yaknu actually fighting it. He actually survives even through the execute of Kiluash.
Yeah, man, but look at this. JP's under farm. Only
That
2K.
is right.
And
that's a heavy out farm actually. Now Kiluash is in trouble. This triangle offense from Onyx PH. We can see this many times, and it's wonderful to see.
This is what you call the Onyx magic.
The Onyx magic, indeed.
The magic triangle in the edges of the map. But JP actually, there you go, slowly but surely, still actually okay because he has the Calamity Reaper now. With 5 minutes.
No, KLVJ found the map by the Mountain Shocker, and this is what I like about Wise, the way he uses the Mountain Shocker as the
MS. Yeah,
he always uses it to get into that moment where they can scout out their opponents, not when it comes to team fights.
It's all about the vision here for Wise. He will proc the passive, going in with the Bloods, Kiluash with the Dragon Tail out. So back to what I'm saying, man. It probably because of the mystery shop, JP is having no problems here, right? So he still has the Calamity Reaper, so he can probably dish out a good amount of damage against Oh My Venus and Wise. But man, Onyx PH, they're everywhere in the map.
They are indeed everywhere. They're stopping Aura PH to their tracks. They have mastered this. They have prepared against Aura PH, and it's giving a lot for Onyx PH. Now look at this. Even Iyakno is hiding in that spot when Wise is farming. Yeah, that's how you know that they are so well coordinated.
And now they know JP will pop the proc of the ultimate. That is I'm Offended ultimate as well for Iyakno to cancel out JP. And now Aura PH, okay, just backing off. Onyx PH will just fake it out and they will disengage. No,
Venus hurts
with the pokes. Okay,
you don't. I mean, Aura PH, they gave away the Farsa with this type of lineup. That's also one thing that we have to take note. Maybe the mistake from Aura PH is to give out the Farsa because it's giving them so much problems right now with Raflesha.
Oh my god. What are we seeing? Wolf. What are we seeing? Onyx PH, they did the research. They worked night and day, worked hard. Cancelled out all of the TikTok videos. Cancelled out all of the content.
That's right.
Just to get this lead. You now for Onyx PH with a mega kill. That is Jackson coming in from Raflesha. Jay is now at half health. Here comes the Black Dragon. Knock up coming in. No more damage whatsoever for the side of Aura. Glory for the ball. Content Inferno. Venus, flying without wings, putting in a lot of damage, and Wise freely taking a freebie tower in the top lane. Onyx PH just owning Aura PH right now.
Onyx is on a different level right now, man. It's just 8 minutes in, and look at us saying that this might drag on, saying that it will be close. But Onyx PH says, no. I like this replay, by the way, Jeanette instant replay. Before that play happened, when KLVJ decided to go in, when Onyx PH actually, they dispersed the moment they saw that the Shadow Blades were out. Because they know that the only way for them to die is if they clump up together in that space. But Onyx PH says, oi, the Gushan went out and they just dispersed. And there's all of a sudden no damage from RPH.
No way, Jose. Man.
This is amazing display from Onyx PH.
Amazing display, and look at this.
Onyx Magic.
Onyx Magic. Wise is now at 67,000 gold. They're now chasing Greed though. Oh. Welcome back to the club, Greed, says Onyx PH. That is the championship Natalia there, man, but Onyx PH, they bred all of the tricks.
Exactly. Onyx PH
in the book.
They have woken up from their past nightmares, right?
Oh my god.
Both the Natalia as well as the Ling, they were the nightmares of Onyx PH from before.
And the playbook is not working. I'm Offended side coming in from Iyakno. That is of course set a monster kill from Thor. Reed will just run away, but Iyakno will be the one falling down for Onyx PH. JP as well. Let's see what can the King KLBJ put in to this game. 3-12 is the score. Wow, Onyx PH. I can't believe my eyes here, Wolf. I can't believe my eyes.
Oh, you and me both, man. I did not think that Onyx PH will be this strong right now, but they are looking like they are so prepared against Aura PH. And Greed is just gonna cut the waves out at this moment because that's the only thing that he can do. That's actually big, but Jay already knows this. Jay,
this is
just gonna be able to shove this lane. And if you look at Onyx PH, that's the first turret that they will ever lose in this game.
Onyx PH walking back to memory lane. This is the reason that they
no.
lost the championship last season.
Oh no!
But the blades, it did not broke. But okay, Wise actually will go down as JP and company will back off. Jay is now falling low as well. The king chasing, scratching, bouncing, everything crawling back to love. Iato also falling low. Oh no! Aura Fire is now burning. Here comes the dragon form, catching two. Rafflesia from behind, pops the ejector, but he will not catch the queen as Lar is the main target here. KLBJ from the back. Rafflesia, another proc of the ejector. JP and company, they're here. They're setting up for the Lord. 3 heroes are now down for Onyx PH. It's still not over.
It's still not
Shadow
over.
Blade Slaughter. That is, of course, the proc, the kills, shut down the king, the young king. KLBJ with 4-0-1. It's not over till it's over.
It's not over, Jay!
But, okay, Jay. There you go. Nice shield coming in from Rafflesia. KLBJ and company. Greed is here for the silence. And there you go. It's now,
oh my god.
It's now at peace. Both of the teams will just disengage. But Aura PH coming back from a massive economy deficit.
Man. JP, man. This is probably the reason why they had the go signal to pick up this Gusion, because he plays this well. And if you think about it, even in the late game, even when you're down, just hit the good set of items, land your combo, you'll get the kill onto anybody. I would say that Onyx PH, that was definitely a mistake on their part that they were separated from each other, because no matter what happens, if you're looking at Aura PH, they have a lineup with 3 executes.
Yeah.
There is a kill potential no matter what.
So Onyx PH, they need to be careful with their positioning there.
That's
because
right. That's
I think Greed set up a trap there.
Exactly.
They were too greedy for Greed.
Exactly.
And they don't want to like make the mistake once again of Greed defeating them with this Natalia.
100%. Looking at this, I'm not sure if this is the best decision. You have to be careful, man. If you're Onyx PH, Greed is actually in here. It's gonna be a problem. Rafflesia is here as well. They will have to reset now.
What is the setup?
Oh no,
Wise!
the combo!
Oh no, from behind! Wise falling low, but he will use the traces to get out. Reed is down. 35 seconds. Here comes Killua spinning. The dragon pops the dragon tail. KLBJ and Rafflesia JP. He is here. Who is the main target? Shadow Blade coming in. That is Wise, of course. That is, of course, Sword Spike. Incandescence out. But, of course, the Queen with the last hit. And the only one remaining will be Rafflesia. Onyx PH getting 4 heroes and probably will secure this Lord.
Definitely, they have Dilar. That was a very nice play from Aura PH, I would say. Their combo, they have Natalia, you have the unstoppable force that's a stun into a silence so that you will be able to control one. But look at this, Rafflesia trying to survive. He can't. He just can't. Or can he?
Can he though?
Can he?
Doesn't have the damage. Oh my, he tried his best.
Tried his best.
But all I can say is that Onyx magic is real. Yeah.
So that was a good start. Unfortunately, we have a king, we have a queen. Let's not sleep on the King's Lair. Yakno is here, and he actually made a great play to stop the other members of RPH from running away, because RPH, they are already all in when they wanted to go for the kill on Wise, and they were successful in doing so. But because they all in, they were easily punished by the King's Lair. This is Arubi. Arubi is a great hero to punish all-in type of strategies.
Definitely, man. The I'm offended setup, which I think Onyx already has a master of. As, you know what? You can't really all-in the Yishun Chin, especially if it has the traceless.
Exactly.
Because it has a anti-crowd control. So now, Onyx PH, can they finish the game though? Yakno here, KBJ is falling low. He's the only one. Lord though, look at that. He is now inside the base, but the Lord, it's still alive. Aura PH, can they finish it? Oh no, it's still not over though. But okay, that was too close for comfort. It is a 2-0. 2 words, ladies and gentlemen. Onyx Magic.
Onyx Magic in the air. My goodness. I mean, there have been slip-ups in this game. I would say, though, that Aura PH, they have shown signs of their good place, of the championship form that they have. But unfortunately, their draft, it's not working in their favor. They
It's
can get
not.
pickups. But if the advantage goes in favor of Aura PH, it's gonna snowball. Of Onyx PH, I mean. It's gonna snowball. Man, I think we have to make a video of looking at how the triangle offense was always set up by the side of Onyx PH. I think that's the Onyx magic that they're doing. And I don't think that you can ever rehearse that. That is just about their connection. That is just how they have mastered this type of lineup. And who would have thought that it's just... Man, it's just an hour or so.
I can't believe...
And then we're already at match point.
Yeah, and I can't believe what I'm saying, man. Is this the fall of Aura? Is this the end of
Aura?
Aura. Of the...
End of an aura.
Okay, let's do
We
that
can do
again.
it.
Is it the end of an aura? It seems like it is.
But, man, I would want to give you a little bit of history lesson. This has happened before as well. A 2-0 lead for Onyx PH already happened before. Who knows?
I don't know, man.
Who knows?
It's different.
It's different, right? It feels
2020 is different, bro. 2020 is a curse, bro. Come on.
I don't know
I
anymore,
can't
man.
believe my eyes. This is supposed to be 1-1. Come on, guys. Come on. If you're a fan, I'm not being biased here. I definitely want to see Game 5.
Yeah.
But Onyx PH, they want to seal the deal.
They want to seal the deal, man. And I think that somebody else wants to seal the deal as well. I think
Yeah.
Rockhart wants the floor right now. Take it away,
Rockhart,
man.
go ahead.
Now, this is a very good attempt for Aura PH to try to hunt down yung old school na talagang, alam niyo naman, old school na meta natin dito sa MPL Season 6. Go for the single carry funnel. And it really did look like it was going to work for a moment. Double assassin, isipin mo, may Gusion ka na, may Natalia ka pa. Parang imagine mo, ikaw yung Yisan, ang hirap nun, di ba? Pero no, sabi ng Onyx, we will have the zoning capabilities of Oh My Venus. Plus, si Jay ang bahala. Kung may sakaling may mga subok mag-invade, automatic may alarm system sila. Pang-hunting, pang-habol, Jay's got that. And of course, yung dalawang anchor ng Onyx PH dun sa magkabilang lanes. Itong si Dilar at itong si Yakno. And that's very well. That's very good. But I really thought that they were gonna be able to pull off at least some effort here on assassinating Wise. But apparently Wise just plays it so safe na umaabot tayo hanggang dulo ng laro. And here in the post-match data, pansin mo din yon. Purple buffs, dun naman tayo sa buffs nagkahatalo. And they have a tool, not just for good defense, but also for good offense, going to the back line. Complete turtle control over to Onyx. 9 towers going over to them as well. And of course, the buffs definitely doing a lot of favors para sa ating Yisan Shin. Maximum uptime on Mountain Shocker. Maximum uptime as well on, of course, the Farsa's Feathered Airstrike means na complete control halos talaga. At 14 minutes, hindi tayo maabot ng 15. Ganun kabilis ang matchup natin dito sa Aura versus Onyx. Now, it was basically the same idea from Game 1 dito sa Aura PH. Halos double, 'di ba? Si LVJ mag-farm lang muna sandali dun sa baba, while the rest of the team will definitely try to hold off and do the assassinations, do their thing. Na hindi naman talaga it didn't go according to plan. And as you can see, it was a very, very huge push from Onyx PH. Now, I think we can go to the highlights real quick and we'll show you some of the things that happened here. Specifically, I think ang pinaka-big deal dito is, of course, mga pasok, mga entrada ni Dilar din. Hindi lang sila yung nakatambay. Hindi ito mga offlaner yung nakatambay lang sa mga lane nila. Hindi. Lagi silang dumadalaw. Laging may presence. Very high kill participation. Making sure na Wise always has that free hit on the Isan Shin. Especially Oh My Venus as well. Kita nyo, sobrang busy nila Oh My Venus sa pag-ikot sa top at sa bot. Bakit yan paulit-ulit. And it was actually very difficult for Aura PH to control. Good effort again from Rafflesia as well, from always taking the heat of the battle. Pero again, it's just difficult for a Johead to tank everything, and especially in very messy fights. As you can see here, perfect positioning. I think I want to pause this here real quick. Napakahirap, imposible nang maabot si Oh My Venus dito sa likod, and everyone else was just running for the hills at this point. So there was just no way that you could stop the back line of Aura PH unless of Onyx PH, unless, like makita natin kanina, there was like a small moment, sana nasa replay yun mamaya, there was going to be a moment where they actually caught Wise retreating dito sa bottom lane, I think tapos na yata yun. Tapos ba, hindi, mangyayari pa yun mamaya pa lang. And again, very good sieges coming from Onyx PH. No one was dying as much as possible, which is ganun talaga dapat. And this was, again, some very good maneuvers from KLVJ, Signs of Life. And again, Yaknu. Ito dati, after na yata ito, nung mahuli nila si Wise. Pero again, this is a very good fight. Ipapause ko lang dito sandali kasi si Wise kanina low siya, nandito siya kanina, pumunta na siya dito. He was low for the whole time, 'di ba? Pero hindi siya mahabol nung mga backline ng Aura PH just because of the zoning capabilities talaga nitong si Jay as well as Iakno, and everyone else from Onyx PH really just knew where they were at each specific moment in the game. Even though namatay si Wise dito, his job was done. Napalambot na niya at napababa yung HP ng mga kalaban dito sa Aura PH, and therefore they were able to close this out in a very, very spectacular fashion, and it's gonna be very difficult to really just cope up. Kung ako yung Aura PH here at this point, it was just so difficult. And of course, Oh My Venus, your MVP for 115 on that Farsa. No doubt about it, the pick on the Farsa is still one of the best supports in the game by far. The wave clear, the early game, level 4 wave clear is just unmatched. Ang bilis na nag-accelerate ng game dahil doon. Not to mention, the zoning in the later parts of the game is just difficult, especially with the good teammates na on the same page, di ba? Same sila ng page, same sila ng iniisip. Therefore, they're able to execute their plans perfectly. And that's exactly what happened. It's game 2 between Onyx PH at Aura PH. Now, we're in match point, mga kaibigan. Match point, 1 game away from Onyx PH completing the comeback streak for this team. Again, support Onyx PH there. Visit their pages by scanning the QR codes on the bottom of your screens. And of course, definitely the team that really needs all the shouting to get to a game 5. This is Aura PH. Scan them and tell them messages of support there on their social media as well to make sure that we can get a game 5. Baka magalit si Ginoo, mahirap na. Diba? Pag nagalit si Ginoo, iba na. Ayoko na. Okay, visit the MPLPH official page as well, right there. On the bottom of your screen, scan that QR code. Again, QR code scanners are very, very handy. And it's very well utilized here in the MPL as well. And we have a survey as well where you can get a chance to get rewards if you scan this bad boy right here on that on the bottom of your screens. Scanning QR codes, just go ahead or visit the bit.ly links. It's all the same thing. And again, cannot emphasize this further. Support the teams. Mag-send kayo ng mga mensahe sa kanila. Sabihin nyo sa kanila, guys, this is it, pansit. Go for the fight. This is your big fight. The team that loses in this best of 5 will be going home. That is definitely something that we will see today. And scan those, get those giveaway codes, by the way, on the bottom of your screens. There. Get those codes. MRD bonus code 1. Ang daming codes ngayon. Actually, nagpapaulan ng codes ang muton ngayon. Feeling ko, ubusin nyo na lahat yan habang kaya nyo pa. May bonus code pa tayo dahil grabe daming sumali sa ating mythical, super duper, ultra mythical raffle draw. Diyan. Get it all for your journeys dito sa Land of Dawn. Again, we are almost there to the finish if ever Onyx does this. Pero again, we've seen this before. Season 4, this looks exactly like that. Will it be a repeat or will it be different? Let's find out as we go into the match point panel desk right there. Go ahead, take it away, guys.
All for Onyx. Yan yung battle cry ng Onyx PH. Pero I would change something there. All in Onyx na lang. Kasi 2-0 na ang score natin sa series natin right now against Aura PH, against their age-old rivals. Ako si Reptar, still here with Chin and Midnight. And let me just set up a little bit of story before we dive into the deep analysis of Game 1 and Game number 2. Kahapon, when we got into this panel, none of those came from a 2-0. Lahat ng series that brought into the panel were all 1-1. Ito ang unang series that led into a panel that is 2-0. Sino ang maglalaban? Age-old rivals. Onyx and Aura. We have found ourselves in this previous position before. Nung Season 4, 2-0, Onyx lead. Aura, they turned it around, win 3-2. Will that be the outcome today? Midnight.
Alam mo, mahirap kasi with the start that we have, again, Tapos stats nga kanina eh. Yung win conditions, galit talaga na nagsulat nun eh. It fit nicely, di ba? Parang perfect na perfect yung pagkaka-describe kung paano nanalo yung Onyx PH against Aura. If you look at the draft, they have drafted, nag-secure na sila ng tank. It was the Jawhead on J. And they drafted 2 strong side laners. And Aura PH drafted 1 side lane and 2 cores. Yung Ling and Roger. I understand, it's a 1-2-2 lineup. No, nagpa-pop up na yun nga, nagiging trend na. And Aura PH is known to be a very good 1-2-2 team. Unfortunately, teams change. Yung laro ng mga teams, nagbabago yan. Even the rotations. The draft and the rotation should go hand in hand. Hindi pwede maghiwalay yung dalawang idea na yan. And with this lineup, I understand that it can work out, pero hindi sila naka-execute ng early game momentum lead. Why? They have Roger and Ling. Dalawang heroes na gutom sa early game. If you don't give them early game, mahihirapan sila. And you have Basha and Farsa, 2 heroes that wants to play very aggressive. And hindi nag-align yung gustong gawin ng mga heroes ito para nagtatalo sila. Uy, ano ba gagawin natin? Saan tayo? Anong gagawin ni Farsa? Although nagkaroon naman ng konting breathing room si Aura PH. Fortunately, that's the time na nag-online na yung Eudora and yung YSS. Kasi you can't fight against these cores na bibigyan mo ng space para mag-farm. Tapos sasabihin ni Aura PH, okay, timing na natin. Yung YSS timing niya na rin. Yeah. And you have to respect the timers of a YSS. Kapag binigay mo sa kanya yung first 5 minutes of the game na hindi mo siya ginagalaw, expect a very strong YSS kapag lumabas na yung mga teamfights.
And I like how we set it up in the win conditions na dapat tignan natin yung laban ng side laners. And in game number 1, it was a big game for the side laners of Onyx kumpara sa side laners ng Aura here. Nahirapan yung the Yuzong and I believe they put either
It was the Roger.
The Roger in the gold lane. Yeah, they put the Roger in the gold lane there. Had a bit of a hard time against the Jawhead and the Khalid here. And we've seen...
it was the Alice versus the Yuzhong.
Right, the Alice versus the Yuzhong. Yeah. So we've seen here so far, with that key to victory, the side laners for Onyx, they're doing it.
Right.
They do what they need to do.
Actually, nung una kasi talaga, I have strong beliefs in science, but now I believe in magic. I believe in Onyx magic.
The Onyx magic,
Kasi parang...
Ay, teka, hello? Hello?
Sino ba yan?
Uy, pa.
Ay, nako po.
Nako, yun na. Si Mr. Valdez.
Sige pa. Sige.
Nako, season 4.
Okay, we got it.
Ano sabi ni Gino?
We got it. We're going to game 4 and 5.
Wow.
Uy,
ito na talaga.
Ballsy
Ang tanong ba, makikinig ba ang Onyx? Kasi parang hindi nakikinig ng Onyx sa Ginong Valdez eh.
Real talk medyo delikado nga yung medyo delikado yung tagline ng Onyx ngayon, diba? All for Onyx for Season 4.
Season 4.
Diba? Feeling ko dapat all in Onyx talaga eh. Tanggalin muna nila yung 4.
Refresh us, Mr. Midnight. Ano ba nangyari nung Season 4?
Okay, so quick refresher lang. Sa mga hindi nakakaalala ko ano nangyari nung Season 4. Grand Finals against Sunsparks. It was already a 2-0 victory for Onyx PH. Then, Game 3 came in. Tinanggal yung pinaka-paboritong hero ng Onyx for the entire season, which is Estes. Then, nag-snowball. Alam mo yun, tuloy-tuloy na. Nag-momentum si Aura. Nag-3-2. So, binaliktad yung series. Now, it can happen. Tumawag na si Ginong Valdez. For some reason, tumawag na si Ginong Valdez. So, gusto niya makakita ng Game 5. Pero quickly, I want to review on the second game. Itong draft na nakikita nyo ngayon, a lot of people will question why this lineup of Aura didn't work. If you look at the heroes, they're all assassins. Well, except Yuzong, which is sustaining hero. Pero the idea of this lineup is to assassinate people. Kaya nga nakatatlong execute sila. But even the Roger had execute, diba? Problem with this is let's throw back to NXP versus Execration, second series of regular season, game 2, 'di ba? Naalala ko
yung second meeting
for some
nila.
reason naalala ko yung game. NXP went with an all-in assassin draft then as well. Game 1 they won, game 2 siguro na-excite sila, gusto nilang patayin lahat ng heroes na Execration. They went with a full assassin lineup. Problem with that is para kang gumawa ng lineup na bata yung nagturo sa'yo na para sasabihin sa'yo na bakit na lang di po kayo gumawa ng lineup na puro assassins para mabilis patayin yung heroes. The genre doesn't work that way. There are team fights. Diba? There will be team fights. And Mobile Legends is the most frequented team fights out of all esports titles out there. Ito yung pinaka team fight heavy talaga. And if you look at the side of Onyx PH, they have a lot of team fight. There's an AMS, a YSS, and a Farsa. Even just the Farsa and the YSS alone spills out team fight, no? Actually, ang pinakamalaking contribution nga ni YSS sa isang team fight is yung ultimate niya. Yun lang yun.
Right.
Diba?
Yeah.
Anything other than that, yung ginagawa ng isang YSS, dumadodge lang at ang nalalasit. Yun lang talaga ginagawa niya. And the reason why I like the Farsa on Onyx side, no, di ko nga gets bakit binigay kay Venus yun. Venus special eh. It's one of the biggest team fights that you can have against assassins. Kasi these assassins are full committal, and if you fail, diba? If you don't get your targets off, the Farsa will heavily punish you.
Right.
One of our win conditions that we put up there earlier was that Onyx should try to put JP into the marksman role. But even though you haven't really put him into that kind of role, he's still getting to play his assassins. We're not seeing the godlike JP.
Yeah.
You mentioned it earlier na ngayon parang we're seeing JP and Y siguro in the same level.
Exactly,
Kumpara
yes.
sa dati na godlike JP talaga, no one can touch him. It seems like gods can bleed. Nahirapan si JP and the rest of Aura ngayon. Gods can bleed. So, for you, Chin, what does Aura need to work on here as we head into potentially what could be the game-winning point for Onyx? What does Aura need to do?
I think it's time for them to bring out their secret weapon. Like, I'm sure like they've prepared something. They have to bring it up. Like right now. As in, ngayon pa lang, it needs to come out.
Yeah.
It needs to come out.
And hopefully it does. Para sa Aura fans there, if you've been supporting Aura since the time na tawag pa sa kanila Sunsparks noong Season 4, you need to show your support now because the defending champions ng MPL, they might get knocked out now to their age-old rivals, Onyx PH. All for Onyx or Aura Fire. Here we go. It's time for Game 3. Woo!
Oh my glove! I'm quite nervous right now, Wolf. Are we?
Why are you nervous?
Are we gonna see Game 5 or is... Because you know what? I'm a fan, man. We're all fans of MPL. By the way, thank you so much to our panelists and analysts, Rackhart and Reptar and company. Manjin and Wolf, the connection at your service for game number 3. And again, man, I can't believe my eyes. I'm a fan of both of these teams. But I really want to see that classic Game 5. Is this the season that Onyx PH can finally, like, avenge all their losses?
Well, you know what? As much as I really appreciate what Onyx PH has done in previous game number 2, at the same time, it kind of makes me equally scared. Because what if Aura PH are just, studying their opponents?
It's hard to say.
It's hard to say because you never would want to do that in an elimination match, right? But what I want to say is that it feels like Aura PH, they still have something in their pockets. Or maybe if they revert back to what works before against Aura PH or against Onyx PH or against any other team, maybe they can win it right now. Maybe they can turn it around.
They need to channel their inner
fire.
They need to channel the spark, man. I'm sorry to say this, but they need to channel the spark.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying?
I'm definitely.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah,
because before it was just a spark.
Yeah, and now it's
a fire.
But it's aura.
It's aura. Yeah. But they need that spark. We definitely want to see that spark because before a fire, there should be a spark first. But unfortunately, Onyx PH are stopping them on their tracks. So let's look at what really made it work for Onyx PH. First is the Yisun Chin pick. I think that Aura PH should be dealing with that. Either banning it out or showing us a counter to it.
I agree with you.
Second is the team fights of the early game. Let's start with the early game. The early game of Onyx PH is also marvelous. It kind of feels like it's Onyx PH doing what Sunsparks does in the previous season. Right? Being that in the invaders.
The invade kings.
The invade kings.
Being the invade kings. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
So they're not doing that. And third is the decision in the team fights. I think that they allow Onyx PH to do their magic in the team fights. And that's one thing that Aura PH should be not going for. Same set of bans for Onyx PH.
So here we go. There you go.
There it is.
You got your wish, Wolf. The Yisun Shin is now banned.
Let's go game 4.
What?
I'm just kidding.
What is what is the wise hero now? There's no more Yishin Shin, no more Mountain Shocker, and like what you've said, the potential of Game 4 is high here.
Yeah.
Because of that hero, I think, I also agree with the panel that they said this is the key ingredient for Onyx PH in getting the higher level objectives in the game. So now, what is the priority of Team Onyx? The Khaled is open, the Yuzong is also open.
I think that there is the Khalid. And now Aura Page, they still can pick up the Yuzhong or as well as the Natalia. Or maybe they go Natalia Farsa. They go Thams Yuzhong.
Oh, another Yuzhong pick. For Aura PH.
Unfortunately, man, I don't like this at all. They look like they're happy for sure. But this is revealing too much. Aura PH, they have revealed their side lanes already. It seems like they already shown what they want to do in the map. And Onyx PH can easily counter this.
Oh.
They can pick up Baksha to go with Farsa or Baksha plus Natalia. Or actually just Baksha and Roger.
Okay, for Wise.
Or maybe for Iapnu, we don't know.
Yeah, and I think that, they can actually steal a support hero here.
There it is.
So it's not a support, it's a Baksha. So like what you've said. So now...
It's an easy answer, man, for all the sustain.
So Onyx PH actually now waiting for their support. But this is Kiluaj right now playing the Tams Wolf against Lar, who is actually his fan.
Yeah, that's right.
Now.
So just a little bit of a backstory. When I was able to talk to the members of Onyx PH and I asked Dilar if there's some matchup that he looks forward to facing, it's actually Kiluaj because as he said, was his idol. Okay, this is such a good answer for Aura PH. Why? Because for the past few games, the side lane or the second core that we're talking about for Aura PH has already been banned out by Onyx PH. And having the Claude this early on is good. But does this mean that this Claude will start in the middle? Because you already have the Yuzhong as well as the Thams.
Your team is
Oh my. You know what, Wolf? I agree with you. I like the Claude here. And I like that Aura PH immediately picked it up rather than it getting banned.
Yep.
The 1-1. So Onyx will now be forced to ban out supports. But actually, as I've seen in the regular season, this is actually the best formula that's successful for Aura PH. Every time they last pick Greed and they last pick Raflesha. Because they know the supports really well.
Your team is
They actually know what to counter and what to prioritize first.
No, I understand what you're saying because it doesn't matter what is the matchup for KLVJ, for JP as well as Kiluash. They will be able to win it nevertheless. But if you're thinking about the supports, if they can play comfortably and if they can counter the opposing supports, they can be successful in doing so. Man, I wish I could turn back time and say that I want to see Natalia banned by Aura PH because Natalia will be it's a big problem for Aura PH. But at the same time, they cannot pick it up themselves. Even when Grid can play it.
I like it.
And Natalia against Baksha, Khalid, and Roger, that's not gonna be successful. And I think Aura PH should be picking the Farsa afterwards. Because if you give that to Onyx PH, they will be...
They will be unstoppable. The zone is just too much for the Claude to enter, for even the Dams to enter. So is this a Farsa pick? The Selena is out. The Valier is also out. So what is the Greed hero?
What is the Greed hero? You go Kagura or you go Farsa for Greed, and for Oh My Venus, it's either a choice of a defensive one like Rafaela.
Okay, so there's a Farsa.
I think you can go Lunox for Onyx PH because it tears through all of the sustain from its opponents.
Or a Chang'o maybe?
Yeah, a Chang'o. Or
another Eudora pick.
Actually, Eudora could be good. There's not much that can catch Eudora. There's a lot of ways for people, for Aura PH to stay on top of the Eudora though.
Yep.
I think Lunox is a good pick here for Onyx PH. Source of magic damage. Or if Onyx PH decides, they can go something along the lines of 1-1 plus Rafaela.
1-1 Rafaela. Oh, okay. A Hilda pick. We forgot about that. We're waiting for the Venus hero here. Come on, give us the Estes.
Eudora.
Okay,
There it is.
so
Eudora.
yeah, the Eudora pick,
Yep.
like what you've said. I think it's better against a Claude. Quite good in the early game, but in the late game, But actually, the electric arrow can cancel out the blazing duet.
This means this will not be a J Baxia. What I like about the Hilda is that it is so aggressive, and if you're looking at Aura PH, they have slow take on the buffs.
Yeah.
This is Claude. It's not the fastest. In fact, it's actually bad. You know this. So they need a tank that will help them take the buffs.
Yep.
And what will that be? That could only be the Baxia. There's not much.
There's no Kufra too.
Tigreal.
It's Tigreal.
Oh,
All
okay.
right. I don't.
I'm not feeling it, man. I'm
We'll
not
see.
feeling it.
This is Aura PH, man. You have to trust them. And the way that they are confident with their huddle, with their last run, their last TL, you can say that they know what they're doing. And as a matter of fact, Onyx PH, even when the Eudora is good when it comes to dealing the damage, I still stay with my prediction that there's a lot of catch and a lot of jump on the side of Aura PH. Imagine this, the Thams, the Claude, the Yuzhong. It will be really bad for the Eudora, but against all other members of Onyx PH, they're not that good.
They're not that good. 4 tanky heroes here.
Baxia on Iacno,
Yeah.
this will be a fast tempo
For
play
Onyx.
from Onyx
Yeah,
PH,
for
and
Onyx.
Claude might not be able to keep up.
Yeah, and the Claude they really needs the Demon Hunter sword to get that damage.
Yeah.
For the burn, for the Devourer mechanic. But yeah, so are you telling me that we have a high chance of getting to game number 4?
If we do reach the late game, yes. I think that the late game prowess of Aura PH will trump the Onyx
early
Magic.
game,
No,
mid-game
the early game, the
damage.
mid-game.
Yeah.
But until that time, it will be a problem. Also, I'm not a big fan of this Claude, and he will get the retribution.
Oh yeah, me too.
If I'm looking at the Aura PH side, they need Farsa, Tigreal, and Claude all together just to take the buffs.
Yeah, just to be safe.
Hilda will be a big problem for them. Hilda is the problem.
This is the problem if you're a marksman also, because you need the purify on your battle spell. So we shall see if he will choose that up. I agree with you, man. Late game, I can therefore say that the Claude is better. So there you go. Retribution is the battle spell here.
Look at this. Okay, so I did say that they will need more, right? So instead of putting the Farsa in there, they put KLVJ so that they will have staying power against Jay. But Jay will just, be a problem, be that pesky hero for them. They put in Oh My Venus as well. They're not letting the Claude take this. There's so many heroes in here.
Oh my glove, the invade is real.
They forced.
Who got it?
It's KLVJ.
It was KLVJ. It needs to happen. It needs to happen rather than Onyx PH getting it. So wow, Wolf, you've said this. You know this. Jay is being a pest right now. Irritating Aura PH. Oh my, JP with the BMI out is revitalized once again. First kill from Oh My Venus, getting the burst from that proc.
I really don't like this from Aura PH because they are overreacting to what Onyx PH did, and their draft looks really bad when it comes to taking the jungle. That's why they had to put a lot of heroes, right? And you know what? Jay, as well as Oh My Venus, they're happy to take the fights.
Oh my.
Because Wise can just solo kill the jungle.
He can. He really can. That is, of course, sweet from Onyx PH. But you know what's sweeter? Because from October 27th to November 13th, log in to the game and participate in the Trickster's Village event and get Halloween candies for Treasure Spin. Each spin will cost 4 Halloween candies, and you can get up to 7 each day from completing the task. There is the special kin. Hammer Giant is going to be the gift. Guaranteed with 10 spins, man.
If you get 10 spins, and I think a clash up top, man, Gene, but Jay will be able to flicker away.
But yeah, that is, of course, a huge delay for JP. Definitely want to get the purple buff, but the electric arrow and the wrap will connect the queen with another burst damage. KLBJ will go with the retaliation kill. He will pop the Gudgeon Inferno in the site. Is the life still enough though? No, it's not.
Not even close, man, Gene. And it's gonna be bad. JP doesn't have the purple buffs though that can be bullied by Iaknu. But they will just be able to run away from there. Have to be careful now if you are Aura PH because this is what Onyx PH wanted. The early game tempo.
Early game tempo indeed. Speaking of tempo, JP's tempo is now low, ladies and gentlemen. Having the retribution, no purify so that the electric arrow is just going to hurt. Plus the wrath. Magic worship damage output also for Oh My Venus. Wolf, going back to what you're saying, man. Onyx PH, if they're gonna end this like before the 10-minute mark, I can therefore say that, man, it's going to surprise us that Onyx PH will 3-0 Aura.
It feels like a dream, man. It feels like this is not happening. The turtle taken by Onyx PH, a 2,000 lead by 3 minutes in, and the jungling Claude is not having a good time at all.
This is JP with his specialty, but man, Venus is bringing in the thunder, bro. 3-1 already on the Eudora. The Queen came to play.
The Queen came to play. Dilar as well, forcing that ultimate. They're not... Jay will just destroy the pathing, the farm pattern of JP. JP's level 5.
Oh my.
JP's level 5. Jay is level 5.
Oh my, look at the baits. Look at the tower aggro.
Triangle offense once again.
Triangle offense, man. Oh My Venus just catching the tower damage for Jay to go in. And look at the stacks of Jay right now.
Oh my god.
It's already at 4. It's already at 4, man.
It's just 4 minutes in.
Oh
And they want to go
my
for more. Forcing the flicker.
Oh my glob. Onyx PH. Punishing Aura PH from after greedy lineup that they're doing.
There are two reactions to this. Either you get bored because you are expecting that Aura PH will put up a fight, but at the same time you're excited because Onyx PH look like they are so prepared against Aura. This is a lineup that will trump all lineups. It's such an amazing draft from Onyx PH, and at the same time it looks like they know what they need to do, right? They know what the steps are.
They've watched all the VODs, man.
Maybe.
They've watched all of the VODs. And they even watch the K-pop drama that Aura is doing.
You're correct.
So, there you go. Is this the first outlay? Jay will actually get one, but Wise will pay for the price. It rhymes, but JP will just get away. So, Aura PH getting their second kill. It's not yet over though.
That is very nice from Aura PH because they were able to tag Wise. And I just like to commend the veteran prowess of Aura PH. They know how to target their shots, and the moment they saw Wise, there was a little bit of defense from Onyx PH, but they still pulled through.
Yep. And KLBJ is doing wonders here in the top lane. He is at level 7, only 2 deaths. He's A-OK, still protecting the tower. But there you go. Oh, no damage. And Iaknu just catching all of those bullets from the Blazing Duet. Okay!
God.
Man. Oh, there you go.
No rest for the wicked.
Look at this. Another triangle offense from Aura PH.
Oh my god.
Raging Sandstorm in. Jay coming in also with the axe. Slicing and dicing the life out of JP. He will force to recall. No way, Jose, says Jay.
I am astonished.
I'm amazed.
You see the confidence of Onyx PH. And this is not something that... this is planned by Onyx PH to be aggressive because they know that they have to dominate the early game. Winning the early and the late and the mid game means that you will win the game. Because Aura PH, they cannot survive the early stages, but they can win in the late game because of their lineup. Then again, Onyx PH, they are making it so that we will not be able to reach the late game.
Oh my. Early game is the way. Early, just don't give JP
7.3k.
Yeah, I get what your point. Don't give JP the chance to be online. Like,
exactly.
Just come on, man. Just break his internet. Break everything. Onyx PH Me and Wolf, I hope that you guys also are amazed by this.
You have to really give respect to Onyx PH. I mean, it was a bad start for them the first half.
It was.
Their wins were all 2-1s against teams that they should not be losing games from.
Look at this, man. If they 3-0 Aura right now, I think that the score is even. Even though Aura got 2 championships.
Well,
I would take that. 5 straight wins.
5 straight wins against Aura PH. That's right.
Yeah.
And the Queen.
Oh, man.
Zapping it.
Zapping the King. Zapping the King. Reflecha trying to make plays with the knockoff. But Jay, with 6 stacks already. Man, JP not even having the DHS. Aura PH. What is happening to the champions? Onyx, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot believe it again, Wolf.
The reign is over, man. They had the King, but they didn't know Onyx PH all throughout the past seasons have developed the King Slayer. Iacno is there.
This is the fall of the kingdom. And I agree with you. The King Slayer and the Queen tagging together to get Aura PH. There you go. Killua spinning his way out.
A little bit of miscommunication in there from Onyx PH. They shouldn't have fought under that turret. But they will be able to steal the buffs once again.
Another crucial steal.
Look at this. Aura PH are forced to move as 4 just to farm. And we know that you cannot farm like that.
Yeah.
It's not gonna inflate your economy.
It's interesting though, because JP doesn't have any debts yet. But still, Onyx PH, what they need to do is just to discipline themselves. Don't go for any greedy movements. Don't go for aggressive movements. Just stay in the bushes.
They have 5 members here just accompanying JP.
Yeah, to farm.
And that is such a tanky buff right now. That's 60% damage reduction.
And they don't have any damage
and
for Jay.
Stole it.
They don't have any damage for Jay. Oh no, Blazing do it for nothing. Another electric arrow. But okay, Greed will actually get 1. So that is the second time that Onyx PH overextended.
Yeah.
And Aura PH getting a kill.
Oh, my Venus has got the purple buff as well to help his team. Imagine this, they have Onyx PH have stolen the buffs of Aura PH and gave it to a support. And this is a trend that we might see more and more.
Yeah.
Nice scouting coming out from Greed.
And this is, and I mean, oh my Venus loves this.
Exactly.
He loves all of this supports that can put in a lot of damage. Because he carries the team. He's a killer support. So, but then again, with the delays right now that is happening, can Aura PH extend this to the ultra late game? We're now at 11 minutes.
We'll see. Because they do have the Farsa, so that's good. And the fact that they're grouping up together, they are respecting the fact that Onyx PH are strong right now.
Yeah.
And with all due fairness to Onyx PH, they cannot be diving like what they did before. They have to be careful.
And
even with the lead that they have, they cannot be complacent.
Yeah, and because they don't have a Yishin Shin, their vision lacks, right? So they need, again, to be patient, right? Because, like what you've said, Aura PH are moving us forward just to give JP the damage output, man. Because right now, JP can't even handle the orange buff.
And that's a problem because obviously if you're Onyx PH, you want to... if you're Aura PH, you want to be farming if you're the Claude.
Yeah.
And that also counts for the Yuzhong as well as the Thames. Let's just say that JP will be able to get the farm eventually. But not having the farm on the Thames as well as the Yuzhong means that you will not have the firepower anyways.
Yeah.
So that your sustain is still problematic. And Onyx PH can just, trump you.
And it might be too late. 12 minutes too late.
12 minutes too late.
And Lar even popping the Aura sticker against his idols. And there you go, another stolen orange buff.
Your time is up, my time is now, says Dilar.
Oh
Mr.
my.
Flawless.
Let's see. There you go, there's the rollout. That is the first target for Iacno. Farsa is down. Greed is down. KLBJ also falling low. And LBJ the King is down. Onyx PH, ladies and gentlemen, taking 2 heroes. Kiluash also falling low. He will pop the Dragon Tail. The Lord will kill the base. Reflector is trying his best, but oh no! Onyx PH putting an end to the inevitable, killing the Kings, eliminating them from FPL with a 3-0 sweep. Onyx Magic!
What a revenge arc for Onyx PH. Back-to-back losses. Since the last game of the regular season, it was a 2-0 for Onyx PH. And people were wondering,